to another 31 Days of Horror 2019 video. Toronto After Dark edition, yes. We are into, I guess, what they called Slasher Night. Slasher Night. And we are starting off with a film from Australia. We're going down under. With a film called The Furies. Now, this is a film that I was looking forward to. I liked the still that they had showing. I liked the poster wasn't bad. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And they said it was a slasher film. It's gonna have lots of gore and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. This should be good. It's from Australia. Why not, right? Boy, was I wrong. Oh, okay. Described as essentially scream queens versus serial killers or slashers. It has, aspects of like I don't know, Battle Royale or what is that? The Hunger Games kind of, or maybe that if you've seen the movie Slashers, it's kind of like that. Essentially, these people find themselves in a game show of sorts, where it's serial killer slashers versus beauty queens or something, like, and it's not a comedy. Like, when you say that, I'm thinking, hell, this is going to be a comedy, right? No, it did have like a couple of moments which were clearly supposed to be played up for laughs, and they were funny, but this film is straight. It is a very just straight film. It's played for realism. Yeah, it's about an hour and a half long. Actually, short of an hour and a half. It felt longer. It's directed and written by Tony D'Acchino, which you would think written and directed by should be a plus, but I'm not sure that it is in this case. In terms of actors involved, there aren't a lot. I mean, all of the serial killer slasher people all have masks on, so it could be the same person playing every single character. It doesn't really matter. And most of the call them whatever, scream queens, the beauty pageant people, the girls. Most of them get a couple of lines in before they're dead. So, yeah, there isn't too much to really go about them. There's maybe, I guess, 3 main girls. The main one being Kayla, played by Arlie Dodds. Another character, Rose, played by Linda Nago. And then there's Sheena, played by Taylor Ferguson. All of them this isn't their first outing. They have other roles that they've played. Apparently, depending on who you look up and who you check out, mermaids happens to be kind of an ongoing theme for them. No mermaids in this movie, but oddly enough, I looked up and there were mermaid movies listed under multiple actors. Maybe that's the thing in Australia. I don't know. But I did find it odd. But yeah, the film itself. Yeah. There's a lot that I didn't like about this movie. A lot. Where to start? Essentially, there's no story. These people, for the good portion of the film, They're just running around a forest. It's a cool looking forest, I'll give you that. It's not like forest we have here. The trees are all like white and they look like they have no bark. They're very, very smooth. It was really, really cool looking trees. My problem with it, around here you have foliage in your trees. There wasn't really foliage in these trees, so I don't know how people could not see everybody. Right? So they're all running around the forest, but as far as I could tell, unless you were really, really far away, you should be able to, for the most part, tell that somebody's running through the forest. So for a thing that's about people chasing and trying to kill each other, I don't know. The location, as cool as it looked, really didn't seem to work for me. It also seemed to be, I don't know if it was an abandoned actual mine or something, or if it was maybe like a pioneer village or something like that. But there were a whole bunch of small little shacks, and some of them, were mining things. And I don't know if they had set these, put signs on these buildings for the movie, or if they literally just used this location because it fit what they were doing and they played it in there. But there are a lot of wooden shacks, and everybody's kind of hiding in each and moving around. And so, yeah, I had a problem with the whole trying to find people and kill them because I didn't think it seemed that hard. Maybe that's part and parcel. Maybe that's what they wanted. The other thing, like I said, there's no real story. These people find themselves in this location, and people are essentially chasing it and killing, and there's no real indication as to why. And then when you start getting to the why things are happening, the way they figure it out doesn't make any sense. It's like you see something, we'll just say a field of corn stalks, and you see a dead body, and you come to the conclusion that there are children of the corn and the corn stalks killing people. How? There's no indication that those two things go together. Like you just see corn stalks, dead body. Maybe there must be kids who live in the corn stalks killing the dead body. That's the kind of logic I was dealing with in this film. Like, they're just like, oh, this is what's happening. How did you figure that out? How did you? That doesn't. Whatever. Okay, sure. Maybe you had more information than I was able to take in from the movie. I don't know. The other thing that really kind of bugged me was the cinematography in this film. The film looked pretty. Don't get me wrong, it looked pretty. It had that sort of washed out, white, playing up the white contrast, so the colors aren't very vibrant. It's very white, which went really well with the white trees and the gray wood, the worn gray wood of the shacks and such. But you see, this movie only has one thing really going for it, and that's the gore. You know what doesn't look good when you wash it out? Blood. It becomes just dark, soupy, essentially chocolate syrup. It doesn't give you that wow factor. Now, had they even if they had played up the red in it, it just wouldn't have worked. It would have been more campy than it already was. But yeah, I think they went the wrong way with. I think they should have popped color rather than. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. I'm too tired. But yeah, considering how much kills and stuff and people getting stabbed and axes and all sorts of things, I was really surprised that they went in that direction. Maybe I would have liked to have had a Q&A for this so that somebody might have asked why they went in that direction, but yeah, seeing as how it's an Australian film, they didn't really feel like flying in for this one, and I don't blame them. Did get an intro video for it, which was nice, where the director said, it's harkens back to the 70s and 80s slashers. Sure, I guess. Not really. But he said, they went all practical effects. And then he kind of corrected himself. And he said, okay, no, there are a couple of instances where we use CG. Yeah, they're pretty obvious. And it's not stuff they couldn't have done practically. Like in the 70s and 80s, they would do the exact same shot, but do it practically. And it wasn't a matter of budget because they spent money on all these gore effects. It was, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the reason for it. Again, that would have been another question. Why didn't you just do that practically? It's not like it couldn't be done. But again, no Q&A, so I can't ask that question. What else? Oh, the music. The music. Very loud. Very loud and constant. So constant. Like, this was putting me to sleep because it was almost like it was a drone. Like, it wasn't music that was a drone, but because the music was just constantly going, and all it was people running around a forest and then getting killed, and running around a forest and getting killed, and it's just the same thing over and over again for probably the first half of the movie. I was just like, it was hard to stay awake. It was really hard to stay awake. Yeah, I so much wrong with this film. What can I find that's acting wise, not bad. Like I said, all these people, they have plenty of projects before this, so this isn't their first outing, so it's all right. I will say I did like the art design work and costume work with regards to the slashers. They looked awesome. Really, really good. But outside of that, and the kills were good. There's some good kills. Very, very good kills. But yeah, the story itself, what's very little of it in this film. I get it. It's not new. It's not new at all. And it wasn't very well done. And then the ending seemed tacked on and didn't make any... Well, I get what they were going for, but how they got to that ending, I have no idea. It didn't make much sense. Honestly, it did not make much sense. This is one of those movies where I really want to give you spoilers. I want to tell you everything because, yeah, I could go into that ending and just be like, what the... But I won't, because it's one of those, it's the ending, man. I can't spoil the ending. Yeah. I was really looking forward to this one too. I thought this would be so good. The killers look so good from what I saw. It's Australian, and somehow somebody forgot to write a story. How is that possible? Like, they essentially had an idea, a concept for a film, and it's almost like they didn't have a script. They just decided, we're just going to shoot it. And they got there and they were like, girl number 1, run that way. Go kill her. And then he was like, really? He was like, yeah, go, we'll film it. And then they said, okay, redo it. We're going to shoot it from that side. And okay, that person's dead. Now you kill this guy. And it's just like, what? What? Like, it's almost, seriously, that's what it seemed like. They were just killing people left, right, and center all at the beginning. And then it was like, oh, now we're going to tell a story. Oh, how did we get to this story? Oh, you just say this. And that's how we got here. Okay, great. And it doesn't look like a low budget, a low budget film. This is what I'm telling you. The cinematography was not the right choice, but it was very well done. The gore effects, very, very well done. Everything about this looks slick. But where was the story? Where were you telling the story? Like, I don't know. I don't know. 2 out of 5. I'm going to give this a 2 out of 5. I want to give it a 2.5, but I can't. I just can't. I'm going 2 out of 5 on this one. Story is so important in a film, and just like I said, no story. I mean, the gore effects are good, but they're nothing really new. There's nothing new in this film. Location is okay, but yeah, it's not getting a recommend. No recommend coming from moi at all. Oh, disappointed. So disappointed. Oh well, things can only look up, right? No, Leslie's shaking her head. She doesn't even know about the second film. But that's another one for another video. So yeah, that is the Furies. For this 31 Days of Horror. If you have seen the Furies by chance, somehow, comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Was there enough there for you? That's essentially what it comes down to. Was there enough in this film to make it worth your while? For me, just wasn't there. It's close. It's close, but not quite there. And it could have been so much better. Anyways, more 31 Days of Horror to come, and more Toronto After Dark, because like I said, there's another movie after this one. So stay tuned. Keep watching. Comment down below, because I love to read your comments, and I'll probably reply. But thanks for watching. Until next video, take care. Have a good one.